Start. Good evening, Miltonians. So we'll start our prayer meet with, as usual, prayer and pledge. Please stand up. Hello. Please, I want to start with a chant for the peace of our Aporesh Acharya soul, departed soul. So please follow my chant for 5 times. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Thank you all. Just we will take the pledge. We resolve to stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect, to serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all tendencies and false values, within and without us, to live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume, and giving more than what we take. We seek God's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. To bless us with the ability to fulfill our responsibility towards our society and our world. Thank you. You all know, just an introduction of our MC for this evening. Dear Miltonian, I have great privilege in introducing our MC for this evening. She was born and brought up in Mumbai, and she's an arts graduate. Married to a well-known famous Idli Mama, our Miltonian Gopinath Prabhu. Blessed with 3 children, Chintana, Karthik and Alpana. We all know Chintana is also a Miltonian. Our MC did Miltonian course in the year 1990 under our Aporesh Acharya. She is a managing trustee of Advika Foundation, home-based care for socially and economically background female children. She is also an administrator of our Snehalaya for 32 years. She is lovable to our mentor, Aporesh Acharya. I pictured her as a Mother Teresa of our Snehalaya. So let's welcome our MC on stage, our Holy Mother and our Miltonian Kusum to take over as an MC for this evening. Thank you all.
Good evening, friends. Today we have assembled here today to pay our tribute, our Shraddhanjali to our dearest Aporesh Acharya. Though physically he is not anymore with us, but he resides in the hearts of everyone. He was a great mentor, hard to find, difficult to part with, and impossible to forget. My association with Aporesh started in the year 1990 when I enrolled with my husband for the mill training sessions. 14 sessions of vigorous, strict training. I saw him as a Hitler, very scared of him, even to go near him and approach him and speak to him. But session after session, when I came out of my shell, I started respecting him. I started rediscovering myself. I started shedding my inhibitions, my insecurities, my fears, and my bad experiences and memories of my childhood, which I was carrying all through my life. I was a free lady. I started accepting myself, started loving myself more. And Aporesh always told me, Kusum, unless you respect yourself and love yourself, how can you expect others to respect and love you? He lived life king size, very vibrant, very alive to each and every moment of his life, to every second that passes in his life. When I was in Shimuntala to do my retreat, spiritual retreat, he took us for a walk to watch the sunset. To go to the point, we had to travel to the fields, to the marketplace, and then reach there. We saw the sunset in all its glory, sat there for 15 minutes, and walked back to the school. After reaching school, he asked us, all of us, to assemble in the prayer room. And he asked each and every one of us to narrate our experience that day. All of us stood, and very nicely we narrated the glorious sunset. He said, you have not lived like a satsangi. You walked from the school through the marketplace. Did you see an old man enjoying his tea in a cooler? Did you see a lady carrying a haystack on her head with a baby on her hips? Did you see or watch the tiny wild flowers that grew along the fields? Did you even see the children praying in the fields? That day I realized that we in our life look at the mega field, the dreams. We look at the big picture in our life, not relishing or enjoying those small moments of happiness and bliss. And that is what Aporesh taught me. To be present in the present, to each and be alive to all the things that happens around us, to even see God in every creation. He has played many roles in my life. When I did training, he was my trainer. When I was in the mill, he was my mentor. When he initiated me into the meditation as a satsangi, he was my guru. Outside the mid forum, he was my beloved, loving friend. A friend I have never found yet in my life. He gave me lots of responsibilities, believing in me, having faith in me. President of alumni, chairperson of reception and registration for 2 years. But the best gift that he gave me was Snehalaya, a home of love. When he offered me this duty, I said I was little hesitant to take it up because I was quite new in milk. I had 3 children of my own, and I was living in a very large joint family. I didn't think that I could just do justice to this. But he went on forcing me to take it. And one day I asked him, Aporesh, let 2 years go by, then I'll take the responsibility. Right now, I'm not in a position to take it because I don't know as an administrator, what do I have to do? What are my responsibilities? What are my duties? He told me one sentence which made me take up the job. He said, Kusum, along with the 3 children of yours, can you be the mother to my 15 children in Snehalaya? That clicked it. For 30 plus years, I have been with Snehalaya children, nurturing them, showering them. But what did I get back? Love in tenfolds, abundance of love. Today, my children have grown up. They have married, but grown up into very dynamic personalities. They have started contributing to the society. How proud I am of this, my children of Snehalaya. Few are sitting right now at the back. They come to me and sometimes narrate when they came to my house for homestay. But now I'm 69 plus, so I don't remember. But they remember that those days when they were coming and staying with me. Today, death has taken Aporesh away from us. But the relationship that we shared with him still lives in us. The love that he shared with us still lives in us. He still lives in the hearts of all of us whom he has touched and nurtured. Today, the greatest Shraddhanjali we can give tribute to our Aporesh is by following the principles what he has given us, by treading the path that he has shown us, and living the milk statement, let this world be a better place because I came in. Thank you. God bless you all. To take you further, I invite Kaiser onto the stage.
Good evening. I'm just taking that minute on the pretext of the microphone because I'm just trying to I'm just trying to absorb what Kusum had to say. And it made me also reflect on my time with Aporesh. Though it is a solemn moment, I would say that like every bus has a conductor, Kusum is the conductor of this, Kusum is the driver of this meeting and I'm the conductor. She isn't keeping well, so I'm going to handhold and facilitate the proceeds of today's agenda. So the first in our agenda, let me just take you through the agenda because all of us are not necessarily familiar like an alumni. We have a Miltonian who will take us through the life of Aporesh. We have our executive director who will speak. There are 3 sets of talks which are there on 3 different facets of Aporesh, which different people will come and share in a few minutes. Not few minutes, few seconds. We also have some veteran and old Miltonians who are very beloved friends of Aporesh. We would invite them also to come up here and speak. We would have our Snehalaya and MRS, men now and not boys, to also speak. And we would kind of conclude with a small cultural with bhajans. And through the entire proceeding, keep Aporesh not only in the background physically, but in our hearts as we go along. So having said this, I would, without much ado, like to invite a Miltonian who comes to, you know, what we could call one of the oldest friends of Aporesh, who has been with Aporesh in thick, thin, through all the seasons. And that there are a few Miltonians here who have done that, but this particular one would give you a background of Aporesh, his entire history in Jinglish. You know the language Jinglish? Yeah, okay. So that kind of gives it away. Ladies and gentlemen, please invite my guru, Kamlesh Desai.
Good evening. Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear fellow Miltonians and guests who are present here. Mymensingh was a small town in the greater India. Give that also. Keep it here. I don't flash. Mymensingh was a place, you can call it East India when it was Greater India and it was not partitioned. Mymensingh is on the bank of the river Brahmaputra, about 120 kilometers from Dhaka. This place, there were a royal family and a zamindar, and they were called Acharya Chaudharis of that place. This Acharya Chaudharis there was a saying in Mymensingh that if you go 3 kilometers, either on the north or the east or the west or the south, you had to transgress their lands and as well as trespass their lands. That rich was this royal family. The Suryakant Acharya was the great-grandfather of Aporesh Acharya. Suryakant Acharya had made a palace in Singh, and that palace was known as Crystal Palace. Then over a period of time it became Rang Mahal. And then as per the legacy, the son of Suryakant Acharya, he passed on the legacy to his son Shashikant Acharya. Shashikant Acharya renovated this palace in Singh, and it is today also present there, and it is known as Shashi Lodge. It is a 50,000 square feet of a palace with about 11 rooms, and that is where this great soul Aporesh Acharya was born on the 1st of August 1938. Most of you will not be knowing it, that he belonged to the Zamindar's royal family of Singh. And in those days, after the partition, Aporesh Acharya moved to Calcutta. But however, he wanted to go back to Singh, and few years before, his son Toku organized for him to visit Singh. And there he met all the government officials and the personals of that place. Today, Singh is a hub of financial hub and an education hub. There are 12 universities and colleges in Singh, and where Aporesh was born, the Shashi House has got one of the best women university in that place. Friends, what does it mean to us personally that this man was born like a Raja, lived like a Raja, and died like a Raja? So, Toku, his son, was just received a call from the PA of Sheikh Hasina, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, about the condolence of Aporesh Acharya. The local MP of the Singh, he had a special namaz on that day in Singh. And the High Commissioner of Bangladesh had also personally called our Kanishka Acharya and expressed his condolences. So friends, who were, that dharti or that place, you will be amazed to know that there were artists, so many artists, science, technology, education, and financial hub was Singh. Rani Mukherjee, a famous star, belongs to that area. Satyajit Ray belongs to that area. And when we find this, our tiger Aporesh, he was like the Taslim Nasreen. Have you heard of Taslim Nasreen? Who has written the book Lajja, and she has been issued a fatwa in Bangladesh, and she stays in Calcutta. She belongs to Singh. So here what I want to connect is the issue of, in Bengali there is a proverb, Ma, Ma and Manush, it is all assembled together. This is what Aporesh lived. And if you see his whole life, he continued with the same journey of that place, which is known as the politicians use that more, but it is in our context very important for us that the legacy is still carrying on. Out of this, also, I would like now to bring to you, apart from the biography of Aporesh, his marital and family life. In 1966, Aporesh married a very beautiful woman, Suguna Ratnam. Sugana Ratnam, from the age of 5, was a ace Kuchipudi dancer. And she did her BA in Osmania University and then an MA in the Banaras Hindu University. She was blessed with these 3 children in their union. We call them Toku, Munna and Nannu. They are none other than Kanishka Acharya, Aprup Acharya and Abhishek Acharya. Each one has a unique and a very successful personality, and each one has got his own creativity and innovation in the field. So such thoughts of the parents. This Saguna Ratna has also written several books in Telugu. She has also written certain fictional books also in Telugu. And when Aporesh Acharya was in marriage for about 14 years, he also trained her as a milk trainer. And she was conducting in Hyderabad the milk course, which was known as Swayam. And she has also conducted several classes of milk kind of a session in Hyderabad. But of course, she was not very healthy, and at 66 or 67 in 2013, Aporesh lost, means the mother of these 3 children was lost, the Suguna Ratnam. Suguna Ratnam, when she died, I was the only person, apart from the children and Karina, the daughter of Kanishka Acharya, I had gone to Hyderabad. And just before that, I would like to tell and narrate an incident that I had a difference of opinion with Aporesh. And he was not in talking terms with me. But when I came back from my Hyderabad tour, he met me. And he said, call that Guju guy. I want to see him. When I went to see him, I still remember the beautiful words he said to me. He says, Guju, tera aur mera, Hindi mein, always used to talk in Hindi. Tera aur mera jo rishta tha, isme matbhed tha, lekin kabhi manbhed nahi hua. Yani ki, what we expressed to ourselves was, we were like one body and 2 souls together. So we hugged each other because we were missing each other. For a period of some short period, we missed each other. But we had a respect to each other. And then from 2013, he never looked back. While after this divorce of this Suguna Ratna, in the 80s, which most of you don't know, because I'm the only living person who has seen all the 3 women in his life. And this person in the 80s introduced me to Nima Karanja, a Blitz owner, a Parsi. मैं बोला ये आधा दीवानी है रे अपरेश, अरे लेकिन प्रेम में है. मैं बोला ये तेरा प्रेम चलने वाला नहीं है. Huh? These are the words. And then this Aporesh Acharya got married to her. So when he got married, मैं बोला तू क्या बेवकूफी कर रहा है यार? I'm 80s. I'm still in 24 or 25s. And I could give him a wisdom and advice. मैं बोला ये तेरा टिकने वाला नहीं है. अरे यार तू मैरिज के दिन ही बोल रहा है टिकने वाला नहीं है. तू कैसा गुज्जू है? मेरा दोस्त है या दुश्मन है? मैं बोला तेरे को सच्चा बात बोल रहा हूं तो दोस्ती हूं ना. And 6 months that marriage didn't last. That was Nima Karanja. And of course everybody knows about Tara, so I'm not going to touch on Tara. So what today the Maiman Singh has 12 universities. It has got one of the best medical college, and it has become the financial hub. Only thing in the end I would like to say, I'm a Guju. I'm a selfish and a little greedy fellow. Today was the 11th day of our Aporesh Acharya. And the 11th day, as per the Hindu philosophy, has been done to find moksha of the soul. But I'm a greedy. I said, no, I want my friend back reincarnated. I want his reincarnation. I do not want him to find moksha. This is my selfishness. Because still in this journey, he has to touch so many lives. He has to empower so many people. It is a half journey and it is not yet completed. It's my personal wish. And this wish is because I feel that his reincarnation and his values, if he can empower to several people, it will be a great life to lead with. When I was just a 10th standard person, and I had to take up an engineering companies, he said, Guchu, kar le yaar, ho jayega tere se. And 12 engineers report to me only because I've got a confidence. Up to 5th standard, studied in a Gujarati school, and another 5th, as he explained, my Jinglish. With that, I'm able to manage 2 engineering companies. It is that empowerment which was given to me personally, and today I remember. So today, in fact, I lost a friend, a philosopher, a guide, and a true friend in my life. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Kamlesh. May I invite our executive director to come up and say a few words. Grahadurai.
We vow to mirror your essence in this world. Mentor Aporesh has always said, as human beings, we utilize only fraction of our potential. It is because our mind has become very feeble. It is not disciplined. The first lesson I learned from our dear mentor Aporesh is self-discipline. We have to cultivate and build a strong and concentrated mind. I learned thought is energy. Energy has to be concentrated. And he gave a wonderful formula how to cultivate self-discipline. If we go back to the first day of the PEP training program, he gave the 5 principles for self-discipline, whereby each of us can develop a strong, concentrated mind. To recap, he spoke about 3 relationship repellents: criticizing, condemning, and complaining. He said to us about relationship enhancer, the 3 A's of MILT constitution: accept, adjust, and appreciate. He taught us about honesty. Honesty is not to the world. Honesty is for ourselves. When we see ourselves in the mirror, we must be proud of us. The first friend in this world for us should be me. The 4th principle he said was respect. Without respecting the fellow human being, we are not going to move ahead in our life. The most important he taught is our attitude, the quality and direction of our thought process to look at every situation in our life. Friends, at this moment, let us dedicate ourselves that we will maximize our potential. We will live a life of a true Miltonian. on the foundation of self-discipline. When we live our life on the foundation of self-discipline, we are not only successful with our life, we start living by the Milk Mission statement, let this world be a little better because I came here. Now we are ready, not only as a mirror carrying the essence, now I am ready to spread my essence to the world. Aporesh has given us beautiful projects. Our Snehalaya Children Home. It's our duty to run Snehalaya Children Home at Bangalore as a model children home in the city. We are also in the process of starting a senior boys home in Bangalore in the next 2 years, and our senior boys home should be operational in the next 2 years so that our children who are completing 5th standard, they pursue 6 to 12 at our own senior boys home in Bangalore. It's our duty to spread the idea of new revolution of India, making not only we being Miltonian, the other members in the community also enrich the idea of milk in their day-to-day life. It's time, like a candle can light so many candles, we would add members, new members to our family by revitalizing our training programs. By doing all that, we are qualified to live by the tagline put in there. Yes, I become the essence. Now I am ready to spread my essence so that the larger world can absorb more essence of me. Thank you, Aporesh, for coming in our life. Thank you.
I would like to call our next person to pay tribute, a very, 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 very old friend of Aporesh, somebody who has been with Aporesh also a very long time, and he has been a veteran Miltonian. I would like to call upon Balakrishna Hegde.
Good evening. Said something? Okay. My association with Aporesh was from 1983 when I did a 3-day program, a workshop. Later on in 1985 I did the full-length milk program. I wasn't in the country when Aporesh passed away, so I couldn't pace the last respect stream. Thank you very much, Sridhar, for letting me in today to pay my respects to our dear mentor, Aporesh Acharya, in the presence of you beautiful people. I can see the beauty here, like I used to see beauty in all the Miltonians when I was very active in Malt. It's the same beauty, it's the same radiance that I can see. Aporesh, it's a celebration. It is not a condolence. It's a celebration when he lived. It's a celebration today when he has left his mortal body. It's only he has left his mortal body. He's immortal. He is beyond pains. He is beyond all the difficulties of this world, all the pains of this world. So he is happy there. He made us all happy here in this world, and he is happy there. So it is indeed a celebration today. We should not grieve. Everyone has to go one day. Kusum narrated some very touching incidents. Kamlesh also his very, very close association with Aporesh. I have many like Kusum's and Kamlesh. But I'm not going to narrate that. I'm going to narrate a very, very small incident. In 1986, I was invited to the graduation of Calcutta Milt graduation ceremony. I landed the previous evening. I didn't expect Aporesh to come to the airport. He came to the airport. Friends were there, Ashok and many others. But Aporesh came personally to the airport. Okay, that's okay, fine. He dropped me to the room. I got up early morning. And suddenly there was a knock on the door. I opened the door. Very early morning, it's about 5:30 or so. And it gets bright in Calcutta, as you know, quite early. And that's Aporesh in his jogging tracks and things like that. He's jogging and he's come to check whether everything was okay. It's a very, very small incident, 1986, 38 years ago. And I still remember it. It may not be as touching as Kusum's or Kamlesh. But if that very small incident has touched your life, imagine how much he has done to us in those 7 weeks of grueling training. Now coming to some lighter moments. I don't know, it's a celebration. It should be a mix of everything. Kamlesh mentioned about Tara. So there used to be some very frequent fights between them. And after a fight, he would call us a few of us. And this happened, that happened, why don't you call her, why don't... So we, 3-4 of us go, take Tara to his house, and work out a compromise formula, and they're back again hugging and all that, and same night we have a very nice dinner at Oberoi's. Have a beautiful dinner, wonderful, everything from 7 course. Then we come out, we're parting. Then I tell Aporesh, thank you very much, Aporesh. It was a wonderful dinner. And please work hard to make sure that we have the next dinner soon. This is Aporesh. And we had, in 1998, we started Premanjali. What Snehalaya is doing today. We used to do those days a home for the homeless. Of course, today Premanjali has grown multifold. We have several activities. And in 1994, I just want to tell you why I am not here with you all for so many years. Many faces I am seeing except 3 or 4. I see all new faces. Why a few of us is not here. So he said something has to be done. Something must be done in Premanjali. I said, Aporesh, this is not what you taught. You taught something and you are asking us to do something else. There is nothing wrong in saying these things. I tell you, there is one Sharda Prasad, Indira Gandhi's secretary, private secretary. He wrote a book on his grandmother, where he says, when person passes away, don't say everything positive. All negatives also you can say. There is nothing wrong with it. He narrated an incident where his grandmother would go to buy the plantains, and when the guy is seeing that side, she would put one plantain inside her palu. So we had like Kamlesh said, it was just a matbed and not manbed. We never had manbed at all. We said no. He had his reasoning, he was right. We had our reasoning, we were right. We parted ways, only matbed, no manbed. Even after subsequently also I met him many, many times. So that is why we are not here with you all on regular basis. Thank you very much, Sridhar, once again that you let us in today. Wonderful. And talking about impact, I saw some, how much time do you have? Talking about the impact. This, after that, we separated. We were about 12 to 15 families, about 25 to 28 of us. We were all young. Today, the whole family is about 80, including daughters, sons, daughters-in-law, sons-in-law, everybody. You're talking about impact? Every child, every son-in-law, every daughter-in-law is blossoming so beautifully. It's not just the Miltonians. It's not just the Miltonian's wife. Our children, our grandchildren, everybody indirectly. They're all these virtues, what we're taught by by Aporesh, are all there. We are very, very happy. And from 1994, it was the year 1994 we parted ways. And from then, it is 30 years. Not a single family, not a single person has dropped out. The bond that we have today for 30 years, it's all because of his teachings. Forget about impact in our own family. My dad was ill, terminally ill in 1987. It was the last 3 days. He was not taking water. He was not taking food. He was not speaking. He was almost in a semi-conscious state. Aporesh wanted to see my dad. Aporesh entered. Dad was sleeping. A blanket on his body. Aporesh enters from the door. We never expected. A man who was about to die 3 days later, not talking, semi-conscious state, he pulls up his blanket, he throws it away like a young boy. He sits upright, like as if there is some spring pressure from behind. And do you know what he said? Welcome, manufacturer of great people. My dad had not met Aporesh till then, but he knew about Aporesh. Look at the impact. You're talking about impact, not Miltonians, not wives, not children, not daughters-in-law, not sons-in-law. My father, was not seen Aporesh. Look at the impact Aporesh has made to the world. If there is time, I would like to sing a song. My father-in-law has written a beautiful poem on Lord Krishna. Krishna is Aporesh's most favorite. He's written Bhagavad Gita, which Chinmaya said, the modern Bhagavad Gita. Preacher of modern Bhagavad Gita was what certificate Chinmayananda gave to Aporesh. Kelutihudu murali nada kala desha galanu kaledu. I can still hear the flute which is sung in Dwapara Yuga. Kelutihudu murali nada kala desha galanu kaledu. Kelutihudu murali nada kala desha galanu kaledu. Then it goes on and on. It says, Kelutihudu murali nada, murali ulida nadadalli. Murali, now you don't see the flute. You just hear only the Kelutihudu murali nada, murali ulida nadavagi. Song is gone. Music lingers. Aporesh is there. Aporesh values. We continue, all of us. Thank you. One and the only. One and the only. There is no soul in this world who is equal to Aporesh. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Bala. That was really touching. Thank you for taking us back into memory lane. Many of those things, some of us who are not as old as you in your relationship with Aporesh have seen some of those sparks that you spoke about. Thank you. So we will move on. There are a lot of people who want to pay tribute. And we have to begin with 3 sections. And Miltonians who will come up here and speak for 90 seconds. Thus, up till now, we allowed Bala because Bala has come back to this platform after a long time. And also, we were very keen to hear about Aporesh's backstory from where he came. But from here on, we'll have to be pretty concise, pretty much with time. Otherwise, we may be here way beyond 8 o'clock. Okay? So the first section of tribute to our mentor is a section which reads as what made Aporesh, one quality according to the speaker that made Aporesh a great man. Obviously, we know of many, but each person who comes up here would speak of one quality. The first speaker, who will again speak for 90 seconds, there will be no warning bell and such like it is in the alumni, but the speakers are requested to keep looking at me. I am personified as the warning bell, because very soon, by 70 seconds, I'm going to be up here, not going to be as generous as I have been for the previous three speakers. Okay? So, the first speaker is Miltonian Kalaivani.
The year 1998 was a golden age for me in Milt. I had a lot of events happening in my life. Right from being the chosen one to be the assistant trainer in the Milt attitudinal workshop conducted by Aporesh. The first set of Snehalaya boys, whom I took them for the inauguration of the Milt residential school. And the long-awaited marriage of mine. The greatest one was the mastership given to me by Aporesh for the third day of Snehangan 98. He gave me a topic on relationships. I made the topic, he okayed it, but in the practice sessions, I could not give it well. He said, Kalaivani, you have to build your relationships. It really struck me. I shut down my ego, my hatred. I started building my relationships within the family. And with 50 plus audience at Snehanga 98 and a single podium set on the stage, I gave a flawless talk. And the mantra was, he said, you have to strike a better relationship, a harmonious one, first within yourself, then with the family, and in your workplace, and with the universe. And if you are one with the relationship, you will certainly be successful. You cannot preach if you do not practice, because the guy in the mirror will have to be answered. That's the greatness. That is the greatness of Aporesh Acharya, which has made him great. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Miltonian Kulkarni.
Good afternoon. After I completed my MILT course, I happened to be the secretary, and I had an opportunity to visit Aporesh regularly at his house. And the first thing which struck me was the personal power of Aporesh. I had never come across more powerful person than Aporesh, and I started observing him. From where is the power coming from? I observed him. Of course, physically he was very strong, and that whatever he used to speak about morning discipline in the class, he used to practice it every day. His mind was extremely strong. He was a great communicator and a man of conviction, and whatever he spoke, he actualized it. And then spiritually, he was an even more stronger person. An Aporesh, who is such a free lifestyle person, for him to get into spirituality is a miracle. And when he said he's practicing meditation every day, he was indeed practicing meditation every day, very sincerely. So, in conclusion, what I would like to say is, Aparesh's greatness comes from his convictions that he lived what he spoke about. And for me, Aparesh is not dead at all. He lives on.
Thank you, Kulkarni. The next speaker who would talk about something that made Aporesh great is the lovely lady, educator, Joyita.
11th morning, I was flying to Northeast and my phone was switched off for 3 hours. I just landed and the phone call came, Jo, Babu chala gaya. 2 decades back, when I first met my mentor, the day I first saw the love and hug I felt, it was intact for this long association with my guru. He stood by me as rock solid like my father when I needed and I had nothing. He cuddled me, pampered me and my daughter like my mother. He was everything for me at that moment, so much so that every year for 4 years, every day morning 5:30, he used to call me and ask how we are doing. For many of you, it's very common, but I was not a Miltonian. I was a very, very ordinary person, penniless. I didn't have mental strength. I didn't have money, shelter, nothing. I had a small daughter with me to raise. That's Aporesh for me. Every time, enormously loving me. Enormously. Nothing mattered who you are. He chose to love me. And that's the end of it. In spite of anything and everything, Aporesh loved. And I now know that if I hold a hand to somebody, if I dream for someone to grow, if I dream for someone to touch his pinnacle, I know I'm loving him and Aporesh is living there. Last day, my mentor threw a flying kiss to me. We love you, Aporesh. We all love you. We'll be living for you. Thank you so much. Aporesh always believed to grow more leaders. So he built many of you. So among these, one of them is my guru as well, who brought me in touch with this mentor and gave me an opportunity to become the president of Bangalore chapter. I did my pep course along with Aporesh when he was intact. He used to call me the only male in this pep program is only me, in spite of so many male being there. So that kind of appreciation I have always received from mentor Aporesh. And all through my alumni and my presidentship of 3 years, I used to see Aporesh always sitting here and appreciating me for my talks, building my confidence, what not Milt has given me through Aporesh. It has given me a lot. I owe it to Milt, I owe it to Aporesh for all my growth, what I have received through Milt and Milt family. Thank you.
Thank you for the tribute, but you see, they're going to think I'm a liar or I don't know what I'm doing. So it's not clear, what is it that you have imbibed from Aporesh in a sentence?
That is what I was trying to tell in my talk. You people have met Aporesh when he was a real true trainer. I met Aporesh when he was like a father figure to us. So I could only love him. I could see that he loved so many of you and made you as a leader so that you imbibe that qualities in others. My talk is very different from you people. Thank you.
So after all, it wasn't Mala. She called us like we are father figures, so maybe I'm going slow. Okay, thank you, Mala. The next speaker is already here. Seema.
I don't want to waste time. Good evening, all. Today, I'm honored to be called as a Miltonian. I'm privileged to stand here on this stage to share one quality that I have imbibed in my life, and I'm following that. I remember Aporesh saying, if you want to grow in your life, it's only when you come out of your comfort zone. Melt has given me a platform, has given me tremendous opportunity to outgrow myself. A shy girl who's not even able to speak, make friends, is able to stand on this stage and give a speech in front of so many people. It's because of Melt, it's because of Aporesh. I owe all my growth to Melt. Aporesh is living with me now, forever. Thank you so much, Aporesh.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you for especially being so effective. Okay, so now we move into the third section. The third section is about lighter moments with Aporesh. So the first speaker is somebody who emulates lighter moments. That is none other than Gopinath Prabhu.
Just about 25 years back, Mahendra Chavan, Miltonian, the biggest contributor to our charitable trust, he was in such high josh. We were so close to Aporesh, myself, Kamlesh, Madan, Sridhar. One day Aporesh said, I want to go for dinner. Mahendra said, yes, I'll host. He didn't know that Aporesh's tastes are very simple. He likes the best. So he said, we'll go to Karavali restaurant that is on Taj Vivanta on Residency Road. So he said, whatever can I order? Mahendra said, okay, you order. So he ordered tandoori prawns. At those days it was 900 rupees and only 3 pieces. So when it came, he was showing, and at one go, 300 rupees gone. And looking at Mahendra, poor chap, he can't even touch that. He's a pure vegetarian, that too a Jain. And every time he was eating, 300 rupees, gulum. That's what he was doing. And we are looking at Mahendra's face, and I can still imagine how he was like that. And friends, if you want to have a real-time experience of that, how Mahendra felt, please come with your credit cards. Myself, Sridhar and Kamlesh are ready. And a trivia, when Aporesh married Tara in mother's place, Miltonian Kusum has signed. Sridhar knows that. Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker before that, actually I was also slated to speak in this category. I had a couple of instances, but I will very quickly go through one. Somehow humor and Aporesh and food, these are three topics which are like a trinity. So there was one day when I finished college and I was told to come back to his house. The first part of my college happened in Aporesh's drawing room for a couple of years. And when I went back at 6 o'clock, he said, today you're going to have the time of your life. I am going to make you a perfect Musalman. And then he took me to a small, dingy bar in JP Nagar. Okay? And in that place, I had never had whiskey. Okay, it looked like urine to me, the color. Okay, but he said, this is the best drink. And you say whiskey, rum and vodka, all this is all rubbish. You should have whiskey. Much later in my life, I figured that Indian whiskey is not even whiskey. Okay, and I was having the lousiest whiskey probably, which is RC, thinking I'm having something great. And our good man removes a bottle from his pocket and pours it in the bar, which is a single malt. And I don't know the difference between single malt or whatever. I know 2-stroke motor, 3-stroke motor, that kind of thing, but I didn't understand the difference. So we came back to his house because we were in JP Nagar, which wasn't very far. And he had particularly a good deal of liquor and a good deal of fish to go with it, and prawns and crab, all of that, okay? Now he had about 9 steps up to his bedroom, and on the way to the 9 steps, before we embarked on the 9 steps, he was giving me the usual presidential speech. Some of you may have heard it, that no president in the world, even the president of the United States, has not had a drink with me, and I'm going to serve you that, okay? What comes later is one peg of Irish Bailey, and this is the drink, this king's drink, this, okay? That kind of speech. So, and I know by reference that many Miltonians have heard the same story under the same conditions. So the problem is getting up to the Irish Bailey. He's not able to go. I'm a frail guy trying to hold him and push him up the stairs. Finally, we both failed. He sat down and he gave me instructions to go into his bedroom, which was my first time in his bedroom, to bring the bottle out there. We sat there, and then at some point of time he decided he had enough, and he said, okay, good night, my young man, and I'm out. I have a motorcycle, I'm in his garden, and I don't see one bike, I see about 2-3 of them now. I don't know which one to start, and I finally slept in his garden that night. Okay, so the next person in the same category is Shri Devi.
Good evening. Going on a holiday is always exciting. Going on a holiday is always exciting. And when we started going out on holidays with Aporesh, the concept of holiday was totally changed. We have gone with him to many places. Once he decided that we will go to Kodaikanal. As usual, our gang was ready. That time the journey was by train. And as usual, we ladies, as now, we were young, energetic and beautiful also. Throughout the journey, he was cracking all kind of A jokes, B jokes, everything. By the time we reached our destination, we were a little tired, and so he suggested we'll have lunch and then later decide the evening program. At the dining table, and he was very particular that no food should be wasted. He was asking everybody what they wanted, whether they wanted rotis, pulkas, ghas pus, all those things. I felt like having a soup, but I was waiting for him to finish with everybody, then I'll tell him. He asked everybody, then in a sudden, sharp voice, he asked, "Kisi gade ko soup chahiye kya?" So I would have been a gada if I told I want a soup.
Thank you, Shri Devi. So we will move on to the next section. The next section is a little more serious. How Miltonians have been influenced in any area, in some areas, but as multidimensional growth and maximizing my potential. How have I been influenced by that? So the To talk about the dimension, physical dimension, we have a very energetic Miltonian Rekha.
Good evening. Let me just start with the trivia. When Sridhar Alampalli sent me this message, you have to talk about your physical dimension of whatever improvement, then I said I find only expansion in the wrong direction. Anyway, coming to the my recollection, I met Aporesh for the first time in Snehangan. That was in 98. Shivdev was a Miltonian by then. On Aporesh's insistence, I did the Milt course. Very little did I realize that time that this course is going to really make so much effect on me, influence me so much. As we embarked upon the sessions, within the first few sessions, I realized the importance of self-discipline and a disciplined life. We were all there on this to realize our full potential and to bring wings to our dreams. And to make one's activity, bringing the daily activity to the optimal performance, fitness is very important. Aporesh emphasized on the daily fitness regimen, which not only improves the body, but also the mind. I promised to have my daily fitness regimen, and from that day, with a good diet, I've been exercising every single day of my life. And just 10 seconds more. Aporesh, I have always admired his Just for Life and the way with a expanded chest, he would come and talk, give us an alumni talk month after month in his white shirt and muscular chest. He was hitting the gym even at 75 and after a heart attack. That was Aporesh and his commitment to physical fitness. I owe a large extent of my growth, multidimensional growth, I would say now, to Aporesh and Milt. Thank you.
To talk about the emotional dimension, we have Miltonian Dinakar.
Emotion, the very word meaning I was not knowing. Energy in motion. In fact, as a boy, I brought up from a village. My father used to tie to the coconut tree, myself and my elder brother by 3 years, and leaving the red ants on us and pouring water. It is a corporal punishment meted out to us. Such a disciplined person my father was. And I thought maybe that is the way. I was just waiting for me to become a parent. And I wanted to pass on the legacy to my children. Again, I have 2 sons, age 5 and 8. Of course, coconut tree and the red ants are not available in Bangalore. But I used to do the other part. Only little I know, once I got into contact with Aporesh and the Milt, he's not only my mentor, he's a tormentor of my inhibitions, my short-temperedness, my reactiveness, and whatnot. So I only came to know that love is the center of my family and not the boundary of a family. And after that, how beautiful my relationship with my family and the children. Aporesh, hats off to you. Thank you.
So there are few more dimensions, which is the intellectual, the social, professional, and spiritual dimension. But before we go ahead with speakers on those areas, we are going to take a short break from the talk, but not break to go out, and view a small short video talk by Aporesh. So the team here will help us see that, and I...
Yeah, but those people, those criminals like me who have deep sleep, when you have the deep sleep in the morning, how do you get up? Yeah, that's it. You are rearing to go for another day. You feel nourished. In fact, scientifically, sleep is supposed to give you nourishment as good food gives. All right? And you enjoy deep sleep, don't you? Yeah. If you don't have good sleep, you go to a doctor. Doctor, these days I don't get good sleep. That means you love sleep. You love good deep sleep, wherein you have no touch with the world anymore with 3 or 5 senses, right? All right. All right. Let's keep it up to that. Which is the biggest sweetmeat shop in the chain shop I know in Bombay? Sweet Bengal is bigger one? Okay. And there is another one. What is that? Bijwas. Right. ये good जो जानता है, साला बहुत sweet खाता है. So you go to a huge bijwas shop and you look at one particular sweet, immediately these salespeople are not psychologists. You see, they know exactly what to do. They know whether you are a buying kind or only seeing kind. And once they know that you are a buying kind, the moment you look at the sweet, he takes a spoon and gives you some shakti with a salad. So you eat. Then you look at the other, he gives one small piece of that. Like the 4 or 5 pieces from 4 or 5 different varieties you eat. Then he said, uska 4 kilo pack kar do. Why did you take the 4 kilos? Because you like the sample quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah. When you like the sample, you take the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah. In deep sleep, you experience a sample death. And you loved it. Did you? Now, if you love the sample so much, how come you think that you will not love the real stuff? Is that simple logic, boss? Okay. Let me tell you one more thing. None of you sitting here have ever experienced that moment when you went to sleep. Did you ever experience the moment you went to sleep? Nobody has. It is not in your realm at all. You cannot experience that moment when waking step to sleeping step comes in. That transition you can never experience. Have you ever experienced? No. So, even the deep sleep, when you transit, you will not experience. So, डर किस बात की है? First of all, you like the sample death, so naturally, logically, you will love the real death. And the big insurance is that you will never experience death because that moment nobody can experience. Alright? Uske baad, then you shall be there, playing harp. Now, have I helped you a little? Yes. Yeah. So from today, love life. Don't think of death. The death, when it comes, you'll be very, very lucky man. Look, I'm 75 and 2 heart attacks. The Creator finds me pretty difficult to tackle, so he gave me a slip disc Recently, he broke my leg. I've got a titanium plate all over my leg, see? And he's trying everything to fix me up. But I said, "Tum bhi kya yaad karega?" I said, "No, I won't give it up. Because I love life." I sometimes write poems. In one of the poems I wrote, "I seem to have drank life to the last drop, and now I'm enjoying romancing with death." That means, how do you romance with your girl? "Hey, come to my arms," isn't it? I'm telling that to the death as well. "Come to my arms, I want to enjoy you." How about that? Can you do it? My love is for you.
Thank you, Chaitanya and team, for that very apt video. It tells us also sitting in this chair, listening to him, something, that we can live that kind of life. Let's continue the dimension talks, and to speak about the intellectual dimension, we have Guna.
Good evening. You know, in my life, I had 3 Acharyas. One is my father, the other is my professor in university, and our beloved Aporesh Acharya. It is only these 3 people who got away by scolding me. Rest of them, I will rebel back. But these 3 people in my life, I worship them like God. You know, I am rebellious in spirit. So I always kept a little aloof from Aporesh. You know, I was more like, Mahakashyapa. You heard about Mahakashyapa? He used to stay away from Gautam Buddha and be with himself. And he also got enlightenment. Similarly, in my case. You know, that rebellious spirit in me so much, I wanted to do everything original. I don't want to duplicate anybody's effort. I am basically an inventor. So I enjoyed writing this technical paper, and to my surprise, one paper was selected. And that had a profound effect on me. You know, even till date, I tell you, my friends tell me, if there is somebody who can think original about anything, it is this guy. And I owe that seed in me to Aporesh. Why? Why? Because even though I believed in myself, I always wanted one big authority to tell me, "Hey guy, you have got this." Even if you read Sankhya, Sankhya says among the 3 best proofs, one of the proofs is it must be a testimony by the Vedas, the Shruti, or an enlightened soul. So when Aporesh selected my technical paper in Darpan, I told to myself, "Guy, you got the testimony from the highest person in the world." And that is what Aporesh added to me. And since then, I have never looked back. Thank you, Aporesh. Thank you, Milt Fraternity.
On the social dimension, none other than Venkat.
Good evening. Aporesh always felt a quality of a leader must be pure and true, and with all its social dimension. In other words, he used to say, in this class, I am teaching you to become successful. Success does not mean if you garner money and you become successful in your career or business. Success becomes only when you give back to the society because you are the product of the society. He lived by this. He walked the talk. He used to conduct one-day seminar, all himself, 12 hours standing by himself and raise money and give it to Snehalaya. Once in Chennai, he had a one-day seminar, he had a mild heart attack. He did not stop, he completed. After a week, it was scheduled here, he came and did it. 9 years back, with his very bad health, he conducted 4 PEP programs, 2 here and 2 in Chennai, and took a small portion for his livelihood. Balance, he gave it to Snehalaya. Whenever I go to Simaltala for teaching assignment, we used to spend a lot of time. He used to take me around and say, look, what all the poverty level, we have to do something like this. And that inspired me so much. And I always felt that we have to give back to the society in a bigger manner. And service should become our motto. And I am trying to follow this one. Thank you, Aporesh, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all.
On the professional dimension, Miltonian Chaitanya.
आपको देख कर देखता रह गया, क्या कहूँ और कहने को क्या रह गया, आपको देख कर देखता रह गया. This reminds me of a time when I had just started my organization and Aporesh had called for a meeting where for convention, meeting was conducted, how to do it. As a timid 25-year-old guy, I go there and Aporesh was unhappy with few Miltonians and he was blasting them. And those Miltonians were also giving back. They were arguing and I was witnessing, all right, here is going to be a place where some Miltonians and Aporesh would never see each other for the rest of their lives. The meeting ended. And I saw all these Miltonians and Aporesh holding a whiskey and laughing out loud and showing their love and laughter. That was a very astonishing moment for me at a very early age to understand that, yes, in that role he was authoritative, but after that he could play a role of a friend and both have got nothing to do with each other. This has become a mantra in my profession where even I can play a head of an institute, authoritative role, but be a friend post hours, which is the secret of my professional success. And I completely owe it to him like any other dimensions of my life. Thank you.
Well, we've run out of dimensions except one, and he left it at a nice place for us to get started on that, which is the spiritual dimension. Please put your hands together for Hariharan, Miltonian Hariharan.
Yeah, good evening. There are a lot of things to talk about Aporesh, but I'll confine myself to spiritual dimension. I was thinking till the age of 38 that I'm a very religious man, basically because I knew a lot of slokas. I knew stories from the Hindu mythology. And I thought I'm a regular visitor to temples on Fridays and Saturdays, compared to my siblings and then my friends and others. Till Aporesh blew the lid off my head. He just smashed all my thoughts about religion and God. In fact, almost he made me naked. He exposed me myself. He just proved that my thoughts about God and religion are all I was faking religion. He said, you are faking religion because for you, religion, God are a matter of convenience. When you want God, you will go to God. If you can ignore God, you can ignore God. Then he gave a beautiful explanation about religion and spirituality. He said, religion is not spirituality. Religion actually is he said basically,
religion actually, it helps you to evolve spiritually. It prepares the ground for you to grow spiritually. And religion is more about practices, whereas your spirituality is lived. He said, you will have to grow beyond religion to become spiritual, then only you're evolving. So most of us, he said, we get stuck with the religion, with the practices. Now that was a great learning for me. And four of we mat fellows, Prakash Chand, Mulk Raj, myself and Bandari, we've been continuing in this journey, I think right from the year 1991 or so. In these 30 years or so, my thinking about God and religion has changed. In fact, I think I presented a paper last time in Bombay. Since then, again, my thoughts about religion has undergone a change. So it's a continuous journey. Thank you, Aporesh, for coming into my life. And I also must thank all the Miltonians and particularly my Satsangis who have contributed in my spiritual growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hariharan. Thank you all. We're moving on to another section where we want our young men from MRS, some young men from MRS. We have 3 of them who would speak about their father, Aporesh. Let me first invite to speak Harish.
Good evening, all. I really thank Aporesh uncle for giving me this life, and the Miltonians, Dora uncle and Kusma aunty, always being in Snail and helping us. And I didn't have much time with uncle in Milt because he was not that well so that he could be in MRS. Recently in COVID, I had an opportunity to meet him since he was sick, like he had COVID. So I'd been to his place to look at him, and I saw he was really very bad. Like he couldn't get up and go and use the washroom. He couldn't have food and all. I just asked his cook who was there, how was his days like that. He said it was very bad. I thought, okay, I just stood for some time and saw him. He was sleeping. And at the time of dinner, I just called uncle. I just made him sit and I gave him a glass of milk. He had, and he spoke to me, like, who are you, what are you doing and all. I said, I'm a MRS boy and all. He said, okay, and he went back to bed. The next day, morning, for the breakfast, I got him. I asked him to come, we'll have breakfast together. He got up and he came and he had breakfast, which didn't happen from past 3 days. He didn't have anything because he was sick. Ram saw the cook and he was very happy that uncle had breakfast. I informed to Ashwin Bhaiya, who was guiding me through the medicine and other things. He said he didn't have food from 3 days. I didn't know that. He smiled and he talked. I felt something really strange. Wow, I could do something better. I didn't know this. Slowly, I saw that he had so much power that he didn't feel himself sick. He was so positive that he's better. As the days passed, he started doing better and better. And he could go to washroom, he could have his own shave, he could take bath by himself. And at the same time, he felt better and better. After again 2-3 months, again he fell for COVID. Again I went back. This was really different. This time when I went, he asked, who are you? And he was good. He was not in the same, that kind of a sick man. He was very good. He said, I don't want you. Who are you? Just go out of my house. I said, what? I don't know what to do. I called Durangal and said, see, this is what uncle is telling me. And he said, just nothing, Harish, just wait there. Just one more day. I couldn't literally be in front of him. He was like, I don't want to see you, man. Just go out. I don't know what you're doing here. I went to the garden area. I was just sitting there. I was like, what am I doing? Then he came at 4 o'clock to the garden area. He saw me again. I said, you to leave. I said, yeah. I went back to the sofa room. By that time, I didn't turn back on something. He was sitting in garden area. I again called back uncle. I said, it's a bit hard being around him where he's already too good and he was doing good and I couldn't be there. Then uncle said, okay, no worries. Tomorrow come back. What I'm trying to say is, being at that age, you're so powerful, you're so strong. That is something I got to learn from him, being at that age. And I feel I try to do in these days also. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lokesh.
Good evening, all. I'll just share a small incident which happened in school in my first year, that is 2013. It's a very funny incident. I was playing badminton, and the very next day, we all run to collect the tools, the badminton racket, and everyone else took the good rackets, and I was left with the guts broken one. And Aporesh uncle enters, and he sees me holding that racket right in front of my face. He didn't tell me anything that day. The very next day was Friday. He comes to the prayer hall and says, "This man, I saw him holding that racket, which he broke it." Probably he didn't know that I did that. I didn't do that. But he told me something which goes like this: "If you break the racket, I'm going to break your head." I was a young man, but I got to learn many things from that. That is, respecting whatever that is there given to us as it is our own. He had given a speech on the topic for us: respecting school properties as our own properties. I happened to be nominated for the winner, but I didn't win. And when I went back before convention, I asked him, "How are you?" And he just says, "I'm breathing." So that was how his response was, again, heart-touching. Thank you so much.
The final speaker in this category is A. Manju.
There were two incidents that happened. I think it was in the year 1999 when we all Mill boys had been to Mumbai for the vacation. We stayed at Snehalaya. Mumbai has its own Snehalaya in Thane. And then some of the Miltonians got some of the apartment society members to donate something. They said, the Miltonians were narrating like this: "These are some of the orphans we take care of." So we heard it. So we felt bad. And there was another incident that happened in the year 2000 when we were in Howrah. We had missed the train. We are staying in Yatri Niwas. That time, one of the Calcutta Miltonians also said that you have to give concession because we are taking care of orphans. So this was the term that reached Aporesh uncle's ears. So in one of the first August meeting when we were speaking, when uncle was speaking, uncle told, orphans are not the ones who don't have parents. They are the ones who don't receive love. So uncle actually gave us love when he started this very beautiful institution called as Snehalaya. The meaning of it is home of love. So all the boys, on behalf of all the boys, uncle gave us not just food, shelter, clothing. He gave us love. He gave us parents. He gave us a lot of Miltonians and this beautiful Mill family. He gave this very beautiful thing to all of us. He taught us the journey. I'm sure all Miltonians have heard it. From I love you to love. That means when in I love you, it is I, love is a verb, and you. And we transition to I love. That is, I love irrespective of you. Then we transition ourselves to love. Anybody who came in touch with uncle always loved him, and he loved them. So the message from him is, love is one energy which can all keep us united, and we should keep his legacy and continue loving everybody and making this world better. Thank you.
The final section is to give you all an opportunity to say a few words. Those of you who haven't come up here, I will come down there and give you that opportunity. But before that, there are two things that I want to do. One is I want to acknowledge the presence of Aporesh's second and third son, Aparoop and Abhishek. They can just stand up there so that Miltonians, everybody. Aparoop lives in Bangalore and Abhishek in Mumbai. So later on during dinner, you could meet them. Our beloved Miltonian Mahendra Chauhan is presently traveling, and in his stead, he has requested Asha to read out his message and his tribute. Please.
Good evening, friends. This is a tribute from Mahendra Chauhan. I had an association with Aporesh past 3 decades. His presence taught me humanity, relationship, love, respect, leadership, and so on. There are many things that can't be described. Milt and his Gyan had the biggest impact in my life, which made me complete as a person. I've grown with Milt HR principles. Over a period, it has become an integral part of my body. He taught me the art of giving. He always mentioned that you have to work hard, earn more, and keep contributing until it hurts you. Appeal, he has given appeal to everyone. We Miltonians should continue to take his legacy forward. All continue to be a part of Milt movement. Each one should take seriously their own commitment to Milt. His tribute, we pray his thoughts of vibration be blessed on us to perform and fulfill his dream. Love you, Aporesh.
I would just like to also acknowledge the presence of all our Snehalaya men. They're all seated together at the back. We would just like you to stand up and acknowledge you. So now I am going to give all of you an opportunity. As you want to, if you want to say a few words, and of course very briefly, just put up your hand, I'll come to you. We may have an opportunity for about 5 people or so, okay? I saw, and it all depends on who I see first, okay? So
yeah, my association with the Aporesh is of 40 years. I did the course in 1984, MLC. And my association was actually such a close bondage I had with him. I was the Milt Clinic's chairman for 6-7 years. In the rural areas of our slums, we used to have the clinics running, and I daily used to go there in the evenings. And 7 clinics I was running there in the Milt charitable clinics. That was a wonderful association. And Aporesh used to say, out of this batch, only 5 people will be coming back. So I said, among that 5, I will be there. And thank God I am in every convention, every meetings I am there. I have so much beautiful association with my Aporesh. He used to call me Pandit. And all the such things, all the conventions, all the meetings I have attended. And he had once breakfast in my home. And all the Miltonians, including Bala, and they all come to my home. It was such a lovely, and satsangs, he was totally different person. That was a wonderful breakthrough I got through him. Thank you.
you are still for us, Pandit ji.
I'm Venkatesh Prasad. Few months back, Girisha and Prakash Chand came to my house. They said, "Chalo, we'll go to Aparesh's house. We would like to see him and see how he's doing." I was in Lal Bagh, and my wife told he will come another half an hour. They waited for me for half an hour. When I came, we all went to Aparesh's house. He was doing quite well, and he had breakfast. We fed him breakfast. And he had a small Lord Krishna's idol in the corner of his room. So I thought it will be nice for him to hear one song about Lord Krishna. I sang to him. He was thrilled about the song, and he heard it for almost 4 to 5 minutes. I feel very great about it. And I thank Prakash Chand and Girisha for giving me this opportunity. It's great.
My tribute to Aporesh. Aporesh is not a human being. Probably he is an energy which radiated among all our lives. He touched each and every one of us here and given an experiences and lot of memories to us. See, the Aporesh is the personality. Probably let us see that he is there in his name itself. If you look at that A for authoritative. He is a very decisive and very authoritative in all his decisions. P is a passionately positive person. He gives a love to others. He passionately created a kindness to others. O is a very organized thinker, organized executor. R he always is a rebellious and a revolutionary person. And at the same time, he is a very responsible person. E, he is very enthusiastic trainer and enthusiastic leader. And he has changed many of our lives. And yes, he is a soul which is evolved, a soul. It's a higher level of evaluated the soul. H for higher standards of ethics, honesty, and values. He has given a path to us. Thank you, Aporesh, that he is in my life.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He was such a super guru, you can say, in our lives. He has come. It has changed the lives of many of us. The way he teaches, his teachings will always remain in our hearts and in our day-to-day life. We will be following his teachings. God bless you, Aporesh. May your soul attain full bliss wherever you are. We will always remember you.
I am Sudhir. Good evening, Miltonians. Aporesh brought about transformation in the lives of thousands of people across India, across the globe, irrespective of their socio-economic status, cultural status, language, region. He has created so many leaders amongst all the chapters of India, MILT chapters. He has brought about such a changes in the lives of human beings and Miltonians especially that it is cherished forever. The best tribute to him is continuing the principles of MILT. What he has taught us, that is the legacy should continue, the legend should continue. Thank you.
So once you get down, you shouldn't go up. I have a superstition. Okay? So I'll stay down here, down to earth, but I will send somebody up. Okay? So we have a small section which is typically called cultural, but today it is devotional bhajans, led by this gang which is already here and our singer Chaitanya.
ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲ ವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಯನಿರುವ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಯನಿರುವ ರಂಗು ರಂಗಿನ ಹೂಗಳು ಇರಲು ಪೂಜೆಗೆ ರಂಗುಗಳಿವೆಯೇನು ರಂಗು ರಂಗಿನ ಹೂಗಳು ಇರಲು ಪೂಜೆಗೆ ರಂಗುಗಳಿವೆಯೇನು ರಂಗಿನ ಹೂವೆ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಪೂಜೆಯ ಹೂವೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ರಂಗಿನ ಹೂವೆ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಪೂಜೆಯ ಹೂವೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಅಂಕುಡೊಂಕುಗಳು ಕಬ್ಬಿಗೆ ಇರಲು ಒಳಗಿನ ಸಿಹಿಯು ಮಂಕೇನು ಅಂಕುಡೊಂಕುಗಳು ಕಬ್ಬಿಗೆ ಇರಲು ಒಳಗಿನ ಸಿಹಿಯು ಮಂಕೇನು ಡೊಂಕಿನ ಕಬ್ಬೆ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಸಮನದ ಸಿಹಿಯೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಡೊಂಕಿನ ಕಬ್ಬೆ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಸಮನದ ಸಿಹಿಯೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಯನಿರುವ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರುವ ಭಜನೆಯು ನಾನಾ ರಾಗದಿರಲು ಭಕ್ತಿಗೆ ರಾಗವು ಇದೆಯೇನು ಭಜನೆಯು ನಾನಾ ರಾಗದಿರಲು ಭಕ್ತಿಗೆ ರಾಗವು ಇದೆಯೇನು ಭಜನೆ ಎಂಬುದೇ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಎಂಬುದೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಭಜನೆ ಎಂಬುದೇ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಎಂಬುದೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಯನಿರುವ ನಿನ್ನಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಲವಿರಲು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಶ್ಚಯವಿರುವ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ 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 ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ 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 ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ 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 ರಾಮ ಹರೆ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೆ ಹರೆ
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल राम बोल राम बोल राम राम बोल राम बोल राम बोल राम राम बोल सीता समेत श्री रामचंद्र बोल सीता समेत श्री रामचंद्र बोल कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण 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 बोल कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण 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 बोल राधा समेत श्री राधे कृष्ण बोल राधा समेत श्री राधे कृष्ण बोल शिव बोल शिव बोल शिव शिव बोल शिव बोल शिव बोल शिव शिव बोल गौरी समेत श्री सांब शिव बोल गौरी समेत श्री सांब शिव बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद
So thank you very much for gracing and being part of this tribute. With that, we conclude the formal meeting of this evening. You're all welcome to join all of us for dinner. Sorry? Okay, sorry. Who is doing that? Okay, I'm sorry for missing that out. Where is Ashwin? Yeah, sorry, Ashwin. Yes, so Ashwin will just sum up this evening, and then I wouldn't have to conclude because I've already concluded, okay? Please join us for dinner.
Good evening, everyone. The evening started with a wonderful MC talk by Kusum. How she learned to let go of her boundaries, how Snehal came into her life through Aporesh. Durai spoke about learning to control the mind, the things that they learned from Aporesh. Coming to rest of all of us, everyone here spoke about love, growth, coming out of comfort zone, giving wings to your dreams, fitness. It's evident that Aporesh has touched all of us in every dimension of life, be it personal, professional, social, or spiritual. To conclude the evening, I would present the vote of thanks. We would like to thank Chaitanya. He has arranged the setup, audio, video, everything over here. Of course, Mala, Ashok, Chaitanya, they worked as a team to get this thing in place. We would like to thank Gopinath Prabhu for the wonderful food that's waiting for you outside and for everything else that is done for the evening. We would also like to thank Sridhar Alampalli, Kamlesh Desai, Kotresh, and Gururaj Pejawar, who have been part of organizing this evening. Special thanks to Kusum and Kaiser for conducting this evening so brilliantly. We would like to thank the President and the EC for giving this opportunity to have this evening held in the way it's been done. And definitely, a congregation of Miltonians like this, such a wonderful atmosphere, I am definitely sure Aporesh is here with us and within us. So on behalf of every single Miltonian present here, thank you, Aporesh. The real thanks. Thank you. Group photo. You want a group photo? Okay. Those who prefer to be in a video over getting dinner, you can stay back. Please stay back. My humble request, jokes aside, can I request you to stay back? We have a professional videographer here, so he'll ensure each one of us gets in the frame in the right manner. आइए ना. Please, everyone. Chief, lift the voice up. Yes, online chairs.
first row. Pele up. Ladies, please, Rekha. You should sit in front of Shivdel.
सर सोप इन द बन सर व्हीलचेयर सर सोप इन द बन व्हीलचेयर को बता सर सर सोप इन द बन सर प्लीज सर सर थोड़ा दो मिनट आमल तो हां इकडे थोड़ा
Right fire, ready? One more.
आगे नहीं सर आगे नहीं
What's the worst that can happen?
आडियो कैमरा आडियो वेट सर वेट Okay, sir. Thank you. अच्छा सर ವೈರಲ್ ತಗೋಬೋದು
After work.